Hey guys, this is Aegis, and I've got a game here from the American Pro League. This is from week 3, and with me I have a co-caster. His name is Anticipate.
Oh yes, that is my name, and that is the name I will go with. That is right, sir.
Yes, and we do have here Betty Crocker spawning as the purple Zerg player, and on the other side we do have Fresh from Standard Gaming. So Betty Crocker is from Team OGaming. And we're going to be seeing a TVZ on MLG Metalopolis.
Yeah, I usually don't play these MLG maps, so I don't know these neutral supply depots. But today, I just played 2 games and I just blocked the Zerg in, and they were done. So I'm kind of glad for the Zerg player that there are these supply depots.
And Fresh also checking, is this the MLG version? Making sure that he cannot do any sort of crazy bunker cheese. Betty Crocker saying yes, and he's really happy about it. Also, no close spawn positions.
Yeah, so, close position, air position, so we might be seeing some kind of Banshee play coming up, or maybe like a medevac drop. So, this should be a pretty interesting game to watch, I think.
Yeah, and also possibly a Mutilus Karask. We'll see if it goes that far. Hopefully the Zerg player doesn't kneel over and die before that happens. We've got our Zerg player moving out with his first drone, possibly looking to take that expansion.
Yeah, and it looks like a 14 hatch coming from the Zerg, so we'll definitely be seeing some kind of like mid-game early on. Yeah. The Zerg economy.
We've got the Overlord floating in here. Fresh is like, oh, I thought you were Protoss. So that's gonna change his plan a little bit. Maybe he wants to put that barracks up at the front instead.
Right. I was actually wondering why I was building the barracks there. I was like, do you want to die to a bunch of Berglings running into your base?
Maybe he's got a special formula to hold that off. We've got a spawning pool now, about a third complete from Betty Crocker.
Right, so we should be, maybe we're gonna see some kind of a Spanishiwa style with like no gas for like the longest time. But I'm wrong. There is gas going down right now, so we'll definitely see some kind of speed lane maybe coming soon.
Yeah, possibly, or maybe a really fast 2-base Roach all in. We'll see what happens. Betty Crocker over here is talking about something about playing Protoss, and that he was playing as Protoss versus his friend or something. And of course, Betty Crocker is a brand of, I think, pancake mix.
Yeah, I think so too. It's got the one with the little funky lady in the front. Yeah. Actually, no, that's Aunt Gemma or something.
Oh yeah. I actually don't know, because I buy all of my pancake mix at Costco. And it comes in a 6-pound bag. So,
Kirkland?
No, it's like this. It's like butter. It's Kirkland, but it doesn't say Kirkland. It has to be Kirkland. I don't see that brand anywhere else. And it comes in like a 6-pound bag, so I haven't bought pancake mix in like 2 years.
Oh. Well, Zerg is definitely not going to serve out pancakes for our Terran player. So we see 4 Zerglings coming out, and the Zerg is going to have full map control now, as we speak.
Yeah, he's also throwing down a Spine Crawler. I don't know if I like this at all. He hasn't seen much, and that Spine Crawler is seemingly a little bit premature. But again, I think Fresh is going for those Hellions. I see them in the production tab.
Yeah, and then we'll see the Blue Flame coming soon. Yes, there is. And we're going to see some kind of Zergling roasting time, I guess. And maybe some drones.
Yeah, barbecue in the summer, of course.
Oh, yes.
Those Marines will be able to eat a lot of Zerglings soon. Or those drones, I mean. Roaches don't really barbecue very well. They take a very long time on the barbecue. Drones have been pulled out of gas and only are now getting back into that gas. So Betty Crocker getting a lot of minerals and also producing 5 drones, a whole round of drones right now.
Yeah, like a lot of Zerg these days, they just get so greedy right now with their droning, but that's sometimes it ends their downfall. And we see the Terran moving out a little bit, scaring the Zerglings away now. And does he see the blue? No, the blue flame is not done, so he does not know the blue flame is coming. So I think the Zerg is still in the complete black right now.
Yeah, he's in the dark about this, but the Hellions will soon have blue flame. They are just about ready for that. The Overlords do see it, so there is a Queen pulled to the front. Will be able to defend against that. Another Spine Crawler is on the way as well.
Right, and I don't know how much damage 2 blue flame Hellions can do, but I guess Fresh is just saying that, you know, he knows it, so I'm just gonna at least get some kind of map control, I guess.
And that Overlord does see the expansion command center inside Fresh's base. Now it's scooting away. It's just gonna be a little spy there, gonna take a peek and run away. We've got the Zerglings also poking forth. We see a couple of Zerglings in the production queue now, and our Zerg player does know about the Blue Flame, so he's gotta do some sort of Roach response. I don't see a Roach Warren yet, but he's on Zerglings right now.
Right, and we see all the gas being thrown down now, so we could be seeing some kind of Baneling pair or some kind of 2-base econ Muta. And I'm not completely sure what Betty Crocker is doing right now, but we'll definitely see what he's doing.
So we've got an elevator into the main of Betty Crocker. We've got the Hellions and the Marines getting lifted in. Fresh having a little bit of trouble over there loading the Hellion into his medevac. And here's his push, going to be advancing forward. There's some Zerglings in the way, and there's just not that many Zerglings. Even a scan going down, going to be checking out everything that's going on. And an Overlord is also going to be falling. Fresh is actually doing a little bit of damage here. He might get the spawning pool.
Yeah, and that's going to be big, because when Zerg loses a tech building, it just hurts so much even up. And it looks like he's not going to get that. But the Queens are trying to fight back desperately, but you know, those Blue Flames, even with the upgrades, they're not going to do much damage to those Queens.
Yeah, does Terran have Stimpack yet? Not quite. If he had Stimpack right now, this would do so much damage. Fresh is going to continue pushing into Betty Crocker, trying to get this around with the Zerglings, but no, denied by the Hellions. And the Queens here are just fodder for the Marines now, and that spawning pool is going to go down.
Yeah, and then that's gonna hurt a lot, and we're gonna have to see some kind of tech switch here by the Zerg, and there is a Spire going down, so we're gonna definitely see some kind of Mutas coming out, Muta harass.
Yeah, our Terran player has done so much damage here. It does not even matter that he's lost all of those units. He's killed off the spawning pool. He's forced the Zerg player to make a ton of Zerglings when he might have been rather making drones. We've got an orbital command up for Fresh. It's now floating out to the natural expansion. He's got siege tanks with siege tech out already, but he doesn't have that much of an army.
Right, you know, openings like that, you know, it just makes your marine tank push that much weaker. But we see just like 2 reactors coming up just now. We're gonna see just strays of Marines coming out. I think the Terran's in pretty good shape for now. Because Zerg is not going to beat through that at this moment.
Yeah, our Zerg player is in no shape to be attacking. He won't be able to rally in those waves of forces, especially not against 3 siege tanks with some Marine support. There's even medevacs in the air. There's a Zergling going to be checking for a 3rd base. The siege tank's blasting that Zergling to pieces. A hatchery is about halfway complete for Betty Crocker. He is headed for that 3rd base, so he's going to be trying to catch up 9 Mutalisks in the production queue.
Right, and that's a pretty smart move by their our Zerg player. You know, getting the 3rd, he's just saying that, you know, I'm already behind from that, so I'm gonna try to catch up. And you know, a Terran player at this shape, I think he just looks pretty good now. And I think the Terran could possibly push out soon with around 20 Marines, and that would do a lot of damage to the Zerg player.
See missile turrets in his main. He doesn't have a very high Marine count, which is concerning. As of this point, he's only got 12 Marines. Marines now reinforcing the front, losing a gas. But Fresh generally is in a pretty good position. He just needs to hang in there, maybe macro up a little bit more, and then decide to do a Marine tank push. However, our Zerg player, 101 food now, is ahead of Fresh. In the unit counting station, we do see 53 drones to the 44 SCVs. So Betty Crocker is catching up fast, so Fresh needs to, you know, make something happen here real soon.
Right, and I like to see, you know, maybe like a ninja third get thrown down, or just some kind of aggression by our Terran player, or even some kind of drop play just to keep the Zerg at his base, and you know, just get his attention away, and make his macro slip.
Mutalisks now coming in here, going to be meeting up with one of those missile turrets. The missile turret does manage to take down 1 Mutalisk. These 2 barracks in construction are in grave danger of being cancelled. Yeah, they do get cancelled. The medevacs and Marines trying to reinforce the main, but they're just a little bit too slow.
Yeah, and but the Marine count is actually looking pretty good right now, and the Zerg having all those Mutalisks and won't have enough Banelings to, you know, counter that, or having even Infestors out in time.
There are now let's see, more Mutalisks in production, as well as the +1 attack for the Mutalisks. A command center is on the way for Fresh. Fresh trying to reinforce over here. The Mutalisks did not force a stim. Maybe Fresh is just saving that up. Sometimes he does need to stim to try to run forward and pick off a couple of Mutalisks, or else this could end up being a huge flock, and that's just going to be really hard to deal with.
Right, and smart Zerg players will always try to get like a premature stim, and that means less energy for those medevacs, and that's always good in the end.
Yeah, our Zerg player is now getting his third base up and mining 2 gas over there as well. This is going to support a lot more Mutal production. There's a couple of Banelings burrowed over here. Going to be nice landmines for Fresh when he decides to move out, if he decides to move out. Now Betty Crocker is extending his lead, 157 food to the 102 of Fresh. So Fresh is looking in a bit of trouble right now. He is moving out across the map with his units, but those Baneling bombs did not go off.
Yeah, things like that, that's where luck comes into play for StarCraft 2, and I think our Terran player got just really lucky there. But Purple just macroing so hard in this game. Look at his 72 drones already against the 51 SCVs. And he's pushing out now, but I don't know how it's going to end. And I think the Zerg should throw about an infestation pit soon.
He's getting 36 Zerglings in the production queue right now, 5 Banelings. Also the +2 melee attacks. There's an elevator into the main of Betty Crocker, a stim 4th, and they're going to try to pick off this Queen over here. And a little miss micro there. The Queen does go down. The Marines here take down a bunch of drones. The scan goes down, and this drop does get picked off, and the Mutalisks cleaning it up. Fresh here is looking a little bit down right now, 174 food to 125.
Right, and in cases like this, Terran has to say to himself, what am I gonna... Oh, and those Baneling mines do go off and killing lots of Marines, and that is such a big blunder for a Terran player at this moment.
Needs to scan every step of the way now. This is also going to force that from our Terran player. Betty Crocker playing amazingly right now. He was behind early in this game, but now look at his Muta count. It's so high. It's going to be able to pick off these Sea Shanks. 2 Sea Shanks go down. Huge deal for a Terran player who needs to deal with those Banelings. He still has plenty of Sea Shanks, but that Marine count is falling a little bit low.
Yeah, and he's in such a bad position right now, and that huge Zerg ball, which can just devastate him at this moment. And I think our best bet for a Terran player is to pull back, but it seems like he's not gonna let go of this position right now.
You see 120 APM for Fresh, and nearly 200 average for our Zerg player. Zerg player coming in here, picking off a couple of Marines. A couple of units do die there, but the Sea Shanks are pushing closer and closer. Oh my goodness! Huge surround by our Zerg player. Look at the swarm. Gonna be cleaning this up. Oh, GG.
And there is the GG.
Wow,
oh,
Betty Crocker did such a great job in this game, coming back from losing his spawning pool 4 bases to 2. That huge crunch-in at the last moment, cleaning it all up. What a great game. We're going to be headed to Game 2.
Alrighty.